Adventure.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, adventure continues for us. Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. It is currently about 4:45 on Sunday, November 9th. So I did not record basically all weekend. You guys watched as I had the busiest day on Thursday. All day Friday was super busy. So I just ended up taking a couple of days off to make this sustainable because the vlogs are only fun. The writing is only fun. All of this is only satisfying if I stay healthy doing it. And I learned that lesson multiple times in my life. And apparently I had to keep learning it, but hopefully I have learned it for the last time. And now we can just have a fun day. Evie and I are home alone because Andrew is at baseball practice with his dad. And we basically have some messes in the house, like little things like this left over from Christmas, Halloween decorations. And again, same as my laundry last week, we are not going to worry about that. The kitchen overall is looking pretty good. Like things look mostly good down here. So we're going to leave that. The game room is a little bit of a mess, so I might do some sprints. But first, I am going to walk you guys through a plan with me. I ended up not doing any social media planning or other stuff because I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible. If I find time to post on social media this week, I will, but it's just not the priority. The priority this week is finishing episodes 10, 11, and 12 of my book, which I think will be about 13,000 words. So I will walk you through the process of planning in my HB90 weekly planner, and let's go to those clips. Okay, let's do some planning. So this is my Sunday ritual. I will grab my planners, my tools, my favorite drink, which I got this super cute swig mug at TJ Maxx, and I love it for Christmas. So I usually will have my tweezers. These came from Cloth and Paper, my fine liner, like this Sharpie pen, and then a needlepoint pen, which I don't think I end up using in this video, which is the Energel pen, and a highlighter of some kind that sort of matches the washi tape. So this is a Archer and Olive and an Erin Condren washi tape with some whiteout roller tape and some Planner Kate black and white icon stickers, which I tend to use most in my weekly plan, but I do have some backup stickers which I end up using throughout the video. So the two main planners I use in my Sunday sort of planning ritual are my Erin Condren teacher planner, which is a Franken planner also that I use for social media and content planning, and then my HB90 planner, which is also a Franken planner, but you're only going to see me work in the HB90 pages here. So HB90 is a 90-day planning system that I created kind of out of desperation back in maybe 2016 and used for myself for years to get out of depression and uncertainty. And over time, as I began to teach this to other people, I created a planner that goes along with it. And this planner system is really based on helping me get both, well, there's three pieces to it. One is getting an eagle eye view of the week, which is what you see on this dashboard page. And then the second piece is planning out your best intentions for when you're going to get this stuff done. And then the third part is a daily page that allows you to be more flexible. So on this dashboard task page, we have three columns because I plan my 90 days in three goals. So the first goal is my writing. So you'll see all of this stuff about A Mirror of Shadows and writing the episodes, getting the book up for pre-order. I'm working on audiobooks and edits to my audiobooks. Sometimes you'll see me sort of flip back to last week and think, what didn't get done that needs to get transferred over? I'm also working on some Broken Chapter Society stuff behind the scenes. Second goal is my heart breathing. So this is the Rough Draft Diaries vlogs. Every day I have to record them, edit them, post them, and that's the bulk of the work right now. But I'm also kind of thinking ahead to HB90 and resetting everything for the course coming up in December. And then my third goal is kind of a catch-all admin task goal for this quarter. So that is just things like sending out signed books and giveaways and emails that I need to do and decisions I need to make. And then I did throw some social media stuff on here at the bottom just in case I have time to do it. Then I have a little notes page on the top of the second part, like a little notes box, and I always use this for a quick reference to the week's schedule. Now I will rewrite this schedule multiple times, which may feel redundant for some people. You obviously can use this notes section however you want, but for me it becomes a place that is just a quick look at, okay, what's happening on Tuesday that I have to arrive at, rather than me being able to set my own time. Because as an entrepreneur, obviously I can have a lot of flexibility on what I do, like when, but there are of course meetings and other things that have to get done at a specific time. So this gives me a place that I can easily reference that. Then here at the bottom, I'm tracking what I call task blocks. So when I plan with HB90, you don't have to do this. It's not a guaranteed part of the process because HB90 is super flexible, but I will plan out the things that I need to do and estimate how long it will take in 30-minute chunks. So when I say 26 next to a Mirror of Shadows, that means 13 hours of writing to get those goals done. So that first dashboard is a to-do list of all my tasks for the week. Regardless of when they need to get done, it's just a to-do list. Then I have my schedule and make sure that I'm tracking my time. So I have 82 task blocks on my schedule for this week, which means 41 hours worth of work. So it's going to be a busy week, and I gotta make sure that I'm planning it in a sustainable way as much as possible. And it's highly likely that some of that stuff just won't get done because that is maybe a little bit too busy of a week. So we'll see how it pans out, but I plan for the best, but expect emotionally that it won't all get done. So now we're in the week on 2 pages, and this is just columns with dot grid. And I like to take the top of these columns and section them out with a ruler so that I can call attention to the things I can't forget, or like my exercise or other personal things. And you'll see that when I plan my weeks, I don't necessarily just stick to let me plan all of Monday and then move on to Tuesday. You'll see for now, I thought, okay, I got to get these live streams done Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll go ahead and write those down first. And then I'll also often write down the things that have a time to them. Again, like I did on that first page, like, okay, I got to make sure I'm showing up for this meeting on Monday at 1. And then I'll just add things as they pop into my head. And I know ahead of time that this weekly schedule is not set in stone. This is just my ideal. And for me, having that eagle eye view of here's all the things that need to get done, along with the weekly schedule of here's the ideal time I have to get it done, also in that planning process allows me to think through, is this a realistic week? Am I actually going to have the energy to get all of this done? And there have been weeks that I've gone through this planning process and then gone through and started marking things out because I realized, okay, this is not sustainable. I can't get all this done. But as somebody who is futuristic and kind of always looking at the future with rose-colored glasses, I often will plan as if I'm capable of doing more than I am. And so this process at least puts some training wheels or boundaries around that. And I find that to be really helpful for me. And if I was only doing a weekly plan instead of also a task list, what I used to find in that case is that I would forget things or things would fall by the wayside. This way, at least I can very clearly see these are my priorities and here's when I can get it done, or here's what I need to take off my plate. And that process has been really valuable for me. So here you can see also, like on Tuesday, I realize, okay, the kids are out of school. We're going to be practicing for spelling bee, but I will have larger chunks of time on Tuesday to get a lot of my admin work done. So I've just made a massive to-do list for Tuesday. But it may turn out that Tuesday Evie's sick or something else comes up, or we decide, hey, the kids have the day off. Let's go to the park instead if the day is nice. So in that case, I rely very heavily on my actual daily pages, which you'll see next, because having both a weekly and a daily, and thirdly, a task list for the week just keeps me more on track. because it creates a schedule that's more flexible than just here's the week. It gives me multiple ways of looking at it, multiple ways of planning, if that makes sense. So I do my planning much the way I do my writing, out of order, ping-ponging around to whatever seems to pop into my head or what I want to plan. So I've got some exercise on here, I've got some spelling bee and family stuff, and then I have basically just gone through my task list and everything, looking at, okay, where can I slot these things in? And what do I not have time for? Oh, and by the way, so this washi tape is from Archer and Olive. It was a gift from someone from Archer and Olive last year at Go Wild, and I just love it. It's such a cute kind of happy fall color scheme. And then the stickers that I'm using, the black and white icons, are from Planner Kate, but the colorful stickers that I'm using are from Fern Creek Stickers, and she sadly closed her shop earlier this year. So I bought a ton of stuff on discount. So I've been just using up those boxes and everything whenever I get a chance. But it's always sad to see one of your favorite sticker shops closing. So I'm kind of in this place for 2026 where I'm thinking, okay, I want to keep supporting all my favorite sticker shops, but also I want to use my stash. And so I'm going to try to make a better balance in 2026 between using what I have and only supporting the sticker shops that I just really, really love and believe in. And we'll see kind of how that turns out, because I feel like at this point I have too many stickers to even possibly use them all, which is a great place to be in. I'm not complaining, but also I want to use it because same as with my notebook collection, it's like it only brings me joy if I use it. So I felt good about pulling out some of these stickers that had been sitting around for several months and actually using them. And I think it turned out so cute. So I have gone through every single day I need to edit a vlog. Every single day I need to be writing. So those I've made sure to find time for. And then everything else I'm just kind of slotting in where I think it will fit. And like I said, the key to this being flexible for me is these daily pages. So sometimes I find I don't use them. I'm just using my Kanban board, which we'll go over in another video, like how I use that for anybody who hasn't seen that before. But in order to encourage myself to use the daily pages more this week, I am going to go ahead and put washi tape on each of these pages and mark down the timed things, like the things that are physically on my schedule at a certain time, so that I'll be more likely to use them. But in that left column, I have the times. In the middle, I tend to write my task list for the day. I will often write my meal plan for the day in that bottom left box. And then the bottom right box is usually just notes for the day or anything I need to remember for tomorrow. So maybe we'll do a daily plan with me kind of throughout the week at some point. But this is an overview of how I plan each week. And sometimes there will be social media planning and other things, but for this week, we're just focusing on the main tasks. And I think it turned out great. I'm excited for the week ahead. Okay, so that is the planning. It took me about 40 minutes to do that plan, but taking that time is so important. The only thing I didn't do was a weekly review of last week, and I do find that the weekly reviews are super helpful, but I just couldn't find the energy for it this week. I feel like I know how last week went. I know the things I need to do for this week, but I also think the reviews are super helpful, so maybe we'll get those in another time. But I have to write the entirety of episodes 10, 11, and 12 this week. I have no words. I know what's going to happen, but I don't have bullet points. So I have a lot of writing work to do, and I got to get started because it's almost 5 p.m. on the night before, and I have to read this tomorrow at 3. And of course, everybody knows these are kind of like rough draft words. They don't have to be perfect, but it does need to be the story. And so I got to figure this out. I got to write. Meanwhile, I have Evie with me, and she wants to cuddle, watch a movie. It's getting down to 33 degrees tonight, which is crazy for Dallas in November. So we have a little bit of firewood. We might make a fire, George and I, later after the kids are in bed or after dinner. But for now, I'm going to go spend the next hour while the boys are at practice, and I'm gonna write while she watches a movie, and we're gonna eat some Halloween candy. Is that right?
So yeah. Here's what I have. I have some gummy bears, and I have a Reese's cup.
A Reese's cup.
And then Mama and me are gonna gonna share some fudge cookies.
We're going to share some fudge cookies, and Evie did some good homework today, practicing her writing.
Like a lot of homework.
Like a lot of homework. She did a lot of handwriting practice. So we're going to go upstairs and get to work. I'm hoping to get at least 2 writing sprints done, and that should mean, fingers crossed, a little over 1,000 words. I anticipate that tomorrow's episode will be about 4,000 words. So according to my math, this is kind of the only math I use in my life is writing math. I will say on average, I write about 500 words. Sometimes it can be more, but lately it's been about 500 words per writing sprint. So every 30 minutes, I get 500 words, which means every hour I get about 1,000 words. So I need 4 full hours of writing, specific writing time, not thinking time, writing time before tomorrow at 3. But I'm also going to need probably an hour or more to edit. And then I might need an hour or more to figure out exactly what's happening. So let's say 6 hours between now and this time tomorrow. So the clock is ticking. Let's get it done. Evie, what do you want to say?
I forgot. I love you guys.
Okay, so we've been up here for an hour and a half now, and I got 1908 words, but they're really just like vomited onto the page. They're gonna need a lot of editing. Evie's watching How to Train Your Dragon stuff, as she always does. So the boys are home from baseball. It is starting to get colder outside. We're gonna go downstairs and get some dinner, and I'll be back to writing maybe by the fire in a little bit. Hello, it's 9:22. I finally have gotten Evie to bed, and I am at 2,185 words. I don't know how long this episode will be, but I want to get as much of it done tonight as possible because I've got that 3 p.m. deadline tomorrow. I have a meeting at 1, and I have to edit this video. So I'm tired, but I'm hanging in there. I made some tea, so that is good. I have set myself up in bed with just this little, I don't know, what do you call this? Tray, I guess. It's like a laptop tray, and I'm using my Lenovo laptop. I have 2 laptops, which I know is a little bit of overkill, but I have one kind of less expensive laptop that's an older Samsung Galaxy Book or something, several generations back, but I only use that for writing, and it's just really light, has a long battery life. But when I travel and I need to do vlogs or edit videos, that is not beefy enough to do that. It's also not strong enough to handle like HB90 planner stuff, which I've had to do sometimes on the road. So earlier this year, I believe, I got this Lenovo Legion laptop that I can use for gaming, editing, videos, InDesign, you know, anything that I need that's just a stronger computer processor. This one, though, I can't even talk, y'all. I cannot even talk. This one, the battery life does not last as long, so I've got it plugged in, but I am using that because I'm also doing some admin work in between the sprints. So I probably shouldn't be like allowing my brain to be working on multiple tracks right now, but I'm just trying to multitask, which probably is putting me behind. But anyway, I don't want to work beyond 10 p.m. So I've got 30 more minutes. Let's see how far we can get. Hopefully I can get to 3,000 words, and then I'll just finish the rest tomorrow. I know what happens. It's just a matter of getting it down on the page. So let's see if we can get it there. guys. It is 10:45. I thought I had my laptop plugged in, but it's dying, so it's not working out. I made it to 3966, which puts me close to 14,000 words so far for the month, and I'm done. I cannot finish this tonight. So tomorrow I will keep working on it, refine it, edit it, and hopefully finish it. And I will read it at 3. So the adventure continues. Adventure. Oh my gosh. So yeah, adventure continues for us, and hopefully this book will come together. It's very close to being done with episode 10, so then I just have 11 and 12 to go. And then I'll be done with another book, like really done. And I will want to do, of course, another edit before the final book comes out, but we're getting closer and closer, and I'm showing up for it. So that is good, but I'm also tired. So I'm going to go get a good night's sleep, and I will see you all tomorrow. Happy writing.